So I've been getting asked a lot about advice for, just starting out, whether you're in 3D art or 2D art. I have a few different pieces of advice for people that are like just getting started, 3 specifically. And this is something that I talk about in my How to Easily Draw guide, which just released last week and is available down in the description. So the first thing is building a habit. And the easiest way to build a habit, in my opinion, there are quite a few different things you can do, but the easiest thing that you can do to build a habit is start simple. So like with drawing, just have a 1-minute rule where every day you sit down, same place, same time, and draw for 1 minute. And you find really quickly and easily that you start, you get everything prepared, you sit down, you're drawing, you're sculpting, you're doing whatever, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm already here, I'm already doing it, so I might as well keep doing it. And just by having that low barrier to entry of something like 1 minute makes it super easy to get in and do that every day. And then if you you have a day where everything's like crazy and you're like, well, I can still sit down for like 1 minute. I can spare 60 seconds to do a thing. Whether you have a sketchbook with you that you pull with you somewhere, whatever. It's 60 seconds. Come on. You can do that before you go to sleep or right when you wake up. You can make time for 1 minute. So that's my first piece of advice, build a habit, and that's a really great, easy way to build a habit. The second is something that I was just talking about, which is find a community. Whether that be here on my YouTube channel, whether that be over on my second YouTube channel, Drawbly, or with somebody else, or your group of friends that IRL and not on the internet, whoever, your mom and dad, I don't care, but find an art community that's going to help support you, encourage you, and some people that you can grow along with, people that are better than you, that are going to help spur you on and encourage you. I know a ton of artists that are a million times better than I am. And I love those artists because I love looking up to them and always learning new things myself. Being a professional artist doesn't mean that you've reached the end goal and that you stop growing. There's always somewhere to go. There's always going to be somebody that's better than you. And don't look at that as competition. Look at that as a friend or a colleague that you can learn and grow from. So find a community, and in that also give back if you can, whatever knowledge you learn. If you can teach other people that knowledge, you're going to learn it better yourself. And I find that to be super helpful and encouraging. And then my last piece of advice, which is super, super cliche. So build a habit, find a community. And the super cliche piece of advice, which I'm going to give here in just a second. Sorry. My super cliche last piece of advice, don't give up, which sounds so cliche, and I'm sorry for it. But it's true, because as you're drawing, as you're sculpting, as you're creating art, or growing in literally any field, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail a million times over and over and over again. I fail all the time. It's like my motto. I fail every day. It's great. But failure is how you learn. You don't learn from always being successful. You learn from failure. That is where we learn and where we grow. You tell a kid not to touch a hot stove, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go touch the hot stove because they don't know any better. Telling someone something doesn't make them learn it. Failing makes the person learn the thing. Touching the hot stove, right? So, you can fail as many times as you want, but the one thing that you can do, but I don't want you to do, is give up, because that is the true failure, when you quit something. So just keep going. Remember, with art, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Just keep trucking along. Even when you feel like you're not growing, you are growing, I promise. And you will get there eventually. Just give it time. Give it time. All right, let's get in and sculpt some hands.